We don't play the social game. We are social. Power 98.5. You're listening to Power 98.5, powered by United Angels Dream, your number one resource for public relations, entertainment, and multimedia. Contact them today at unitedangelsdream.com.
Prepare yourself. Okay, let's go.
Empowering listeners from the US to the UK. Live on air with Stephen Cuoco.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us here live on air with Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5. Super excited. Thanks to Dodge Sports. We got an awesome, very, very amazing, talented young man, Aaron Jeffery, in the house today. How are you, Aaron?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I've got no complaints. It's a beautiful day here on the Northeast. How's the weather out there in Canada?
It's surprisingly not bad today. It's fairly mild and the sun's out, which is nice, but winter is coming.
You guys starting to feel it already?
Yeah, it's cooling down for sure. I think today's probably the warmest day in a while, actually. It's nice. It kind of feels like summer again, almost.
I haven't been in your neck of the woods. I've been to Canada. I've heard the weather can... You've got to be prepared for it in your region. Am I getting that correct?
For sure, yeah. I think we're kind of in like a bit of a snow belt region here, so we get slammed pretty hard in the winter sometimes.
What's the highest you've ever gotten in inches with snow?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know, like a couple feet, probably at least.
Enough to where not even a SUV or 4x4 truck would get out of?
Oh, yeah, enough to not even leave your house. You're staying inside until some of it melts or the people come to plow it and get rid of it.
Wow. I want to say thank you once again for being here today on Power 98.5. Congratulations. You are a 5-time champion. Or did you add a couple more after that since my research?
Champion as in like titles that I'm holding?
Yeah.
I have three amateur titles and one professional title. And a couple kickboxing titles as well.
Are you still practicing as a nutritionist?
I am.
So you're doing this along with the MMA in between or simultaneously?
Simultaneously, yeah. When I'm in between my training sessions, I take care of my clients then. I'm
sure you've got to be helping out your fellow competitors as well, aren't you? Maybe.
Yeah, for sure. So, one of the guys that I train with, he's actually fighting tomorrow, so he's weighing in today. So I've been helping him through his weight cut and the dieting and all that stuff.
That's got to be rewarding. I believe you're the first person that not only is in your field at the level that you are as a nutritionist and the experience, but the way that you're able to incorporate that within your profession as a successful MMA fighter.
Yeah, for sure. And they kind of go hand in hand, right? I mean, being an athlete, you got to be mindful of what you put into your body. And that's kind of how I got started with all the nutrition stuff too. I didn't really know what I was doing for my first weight cut. So I started researching and learning more about it, and it kind of took off from there. And I've been obsessed with it ever since.
Have you ever thought of writing a book and tying both worlds in together and coming out and doing some type of tour, especially what we would love you here in the States, do something like that to really put something together? Because, you know, I've been in the entertainment industry for 28 years. I've worked and helped consult New York Times bestselling authors. And I don't recall coming across anyone at your level or caliber to be able to, once again, put those two worlds together and, you know, create a book from it, do a press tour, and somehow add more to the dynamic of what you're doing.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you saying that. It's funny. I've had people tell me that before, that I should write a book. Maybe when it's all said and done, maybe when I'm retired from MMA, I'll have a bit more time. But my brain's a little bit fried after like a long day of training and taking care of clients and all that stuff. So maybe I'll put that one on the back burner for now.
Remember, there is a thing called a ghostwriter. You can always have someone come in, or what you can do to make it easier if you don't feel like writing, you do a dictation, put it on a recorder, put it on a disc or something, and then hand it over to someone to type it up and write it out for you. And then get an editor, and that's it. Seriously, book publishing is super, super easy. It's not the way it was years ago. Many writers, I know many writers, once again, that are New York Times bestselling author, and they did not sit in front of a computer and typed it out. They dictated it on a recorder, sent it over, and someone typed it out for them.
Really?
Yep.
Huh. Maybe when we're off air, you can give me a few more tips about that then.
Absolutely. Yeah. Stay on the line, and any questions you've got, seriously, why wait? You can do a book, say, by next year, and, add something else, because you're going to always have the experience. So all of that knowledge, and you don't need to be doing a 500-page book. It can be something simplistic, especially where people's attention span is today. Pack a punch of who you are, what you're doing, why you are a leader in your profession, not just in the MMA, but as a nutritionist, as a professional, and that this can across the board help someone that is working in corporate company to, a football professional, to a coach, to a teacher. It's something greatly needed, especially during this pandemic. With the way emotional, mental, and physical health is, people are really losing the foundation that's needed for great health and wealth. So if ever a time for someone of your stature to step forward, once again, when you're ready, and we'll talk about it more afterwards, it's greatly needed, because you can only do so much in the mental health aspect, but nutrition, health begins with the mouth.
I agree 100%. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned the pandemic too. It's actually, I'm actually busier now, which is nice to know that people are still caring about this kind of stuff when they're locked up at home and working from home and whatever. I've actually picked up like a bunch more clients. So yeah, it's nice to know people are still putting in some effort to stay healthy when they can't get out and about as much.
And the photos I got of you are really, really exceptional promotional photos. Whoever the photographer is did a great job. So I'm very appreciative of, even the content that, was shared with me by Matthew. You've got a great team. They're doing very well with you. Yeah,
there's a couple local photographers from around here that like to shoot the MMA guys. And they actually, they do this all for free for us just because they enjoy it. So yeah, it's super awesome to have those guys around too.
Would I like to go dig right ahead and deep, because this is another reason why we're here today. You've got a fight or a match coming up on October 16th with Mr. Andre Petroski.
Correct.
How you feel about that?
I feel great. I'm a week out, so my weight cut starts tomorrow. So I just got to shed a few pounds, but yeah, I'm feeling awesome. I'm ready to go.
I'm impressed. Yeah, it's what you have to do in order to get ready. It really is a mental conditioning that's imperative for your profession. For
sure, the mental battle is like at least half of it. There's a lot of days, especially near the end of the training camp, you're tired, exhausted. You don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to make it to that training session. So it's a battle with your mind more than anything. Like your body can get through another training session always, but it's forcing your brain to get there. That's the hard part.
Have you found it easier as time goes on, experience that you are acquiring than it was when you first began in the industry, or where's your position of from beginning to now? Yeah,
for sure. It's easier now. I get a lot of compliments on being so dedicated, so hardworking, like never taking any time off. How do you do this? And I always say, like, at this point, it's not dedication and hard work and all that stuff. It's kind of built into my routine now. Like, I wake up in the morning and I eat a good breakfast and I go to the gym, and there's no days when I question really if I'm going to go in that day, because it's so built into my habits that it's kind of natural for me at this point.
When it comes to personal time and family time, I believe you are about an hour away from your family.
We're actually kind of all over the place right now. So I'm about 2 hours away from my mother. My brother's way up north in Thunder Bay. I don't know if you know where that is. It's close to the Minnesota border. So he's a plane ride away. And then my sister is actually out in Montreal for school right now. So she's like an 8-hour drive.
Is it difficult for you to find balance, or do you let your team know? Do you have conversations with, whoever that you're working with at the time, or your trainer, being like, hey, I really need a little bit of a break. I like to go visit my brother, my sister, my mom. Where do you find the balance in that for your personal time and family time?
So every weekend I go see my mother. I usually I finish training like Saturday afternoon, and I take Sundays off. So I go see my mom Saturday to Sunday. So I see her pretty consistently, which is nice. And then after each fight, I have take about a week off, kind of a little vacation. And that way I can get out to see either my brother or my sister. I think after this next fight, I'm going to fly up to Thunder Bay for a bit to visit with my brother and his wife and kids.
Anything you care to share behind the scenes, behind the curtain of what you indulge in? Is it scotch? Like when you're done, like what is your go-to?
I'm not a huge drinker. Definitely not drinking anything for flavor. If I'm drinking, it's to get drunk. So I'll have whatever you put in front of me. In terms of food, I'm a big cereal guy. I like sweets, baked goods, that kind of stuff. And if I'm going back to my mom's house, anything she cooks is awesome.
What style of food does she make?
She makes everything. We're Ukrainian, but I think she thinks she's Italian. She likes to make a lot of Italian food. She bakes a ton. Like every time I go home, there's fresh baked goods. I'm actually going home tonight, and I don't know if she knows where I'm at in my weight cut. So I'm assuming I'm probably going to have to turn down some baked goods tonight and this weekend. But yeah, she's awesome, man. Like everything. She likes European stuff, though, for sure.
I had no idea you were Ukrainian.
Yeah, 1/4 Ukrainian. So my mom's father he moved here from Ukraine.
Wow.
Her last name's Berlichenko.
Berlichenko?
Yeah.
I like that. That's different. Is there many Ukrainians where you are? Or are you guys originally from Ontario?
Yeah, I'm born and raised. Like I'm fully Canadian. I say I'm Ukrainian, but I mean that's just a heritage thing. I don't know, actually, not that many that I know of. I think here where I am right now, like in the Niagara region, I know there's a Ukrainian hall downtown, so I'm sure there's some of them there, but I don't come in contact with too many, actually.
For the listeners and the fans, what would be the number one takeaway from everything that you've learned, especially during this time, during the pandemic, during this self-reflection, everything that you've accomplished, Aaron? What would be the best advice you can offer, even to someone like me?
I would say be good to people. I've actually, I think I've been asked this question a few times before, maybe in different ways, but I always say the biggest thing I've learned, like throughout my whole MMA career, is to be good to people. I've traveled across the States twice, like training at different gyms with all different people. I've been like almost coast to coast in Canada, and I felt I always made good relationships with guys at different gyms. I've always had people invite me back. I've had people let me stay in their homes. And I don't think that's because I'm like a good nutritionist or a good fighter or anything. I think that's because I was good to people and treating people well.
The reason I asked, and thank you for sharing, is because it is authentically you. And when I look at your photos, when I watch your videos, when I even went back to some of your recent to later interviews you had, you were, but also are very consistent in your own reality and truth and identity, that there's this really, really genuine balance about you, Aaron, of soft and hard. There's always a necessity to have that in everything. And you carry it and wear it and own it very well, that it's even in your eyes. And that's the other reason why I reached out to Matthew and I was like, let's get him on. I just know in my heart, in my gut and intuition, that as you're growing and evolving in this world and in your life, you keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, like a giant that has no limit to length and height. And it really is a wonderful gift to see in someone like you, of how powerful you can be, and also at the same time an inspiration, possibly unknowingly aware of the lives that you're inspiring and changing throughout your time.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, like you said, I always try and be real. I don't try and like put on an act in my interviews or anything. I think I don't even know what act I would put on if I was going to, and I think that's got to be a hard thing to do, to stay consistent with an act. You got to be on point for that. So yeah, and just try and be myself. Easiest way to do it.
Now, when it comes to the ladies, did you planning on settling down eventually? Want kids? Where are you at? Because I know we got quite a few women listeners on.
Yeah, I've got a girlfriend now. We're very happy together. She's French. She's from Quebec. She just moved here for me, actually. So I really appreciate her doing that. I don't think kids are on the horizon anytime soon for us. She wants to be very mobile in her career, and I obviously am with my career. So yeah, we just want to travel and do us for the time being, anyways.
Well, I hope either you and Matthew let me know about the wedding, because I definitely want to come on out and get some
for sure,
and enjoy the festivities, because I'm sure the cameras will probably be off and you're going to break loose like no one ever has seen before, not even in a ring.
Yep, that's true.
Anything on your mind? Anything that you would like to share? Anything that we don't know about right now that's online? You know, once again, you've got the fight coming up October 16th. We're looking at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And is this just on the UFCFightPass.com, or can we watch it anywhere else?
I think it's just going to be on Fight Pass. And like, if anyone's not an MMA fan and they don't want to pay the subscription, there's a free trial, like same thing you would get with Netflix or anything. So you can sign up, get a free trial, watch my fight, and cancel it if you don't enjoy it, or maybe you find out you're a huge MMA fan and you didn't even know.
Any shout outs or closing thoughts you want to give to the listeners and to your fans and to those that are going to be listening to this on Spotify and Apple and Android, and it's going to air? I've got Dan Aykroyd on next week. I can let you and Matthew know probably, it's already Friday, probably the following week. I like to give this a full week airing. Well, definitely. Let's see here. Since you're coming up on the 16th, maybe I can go ahead and sort out and get you and Dan on it the same week. But so we're live right now. It's being recorded. My engineer's working and doing his magic. So I definitely want to get this as much traction out there for you. So once again, any shout outs, closing thoughts that you would like to take this opportunity, give any sweet, good, golden gems, once again, that we have no access to or don't know about, that you feel is worth sharing?
Well, first of all, like a big thank you to you for getting me on the show. I really appreciate that. Thanks to Matt Dodge for setting it all up, all my teammates, training partners, friends, family, everyone supporting me. I really appreciate it. Tune into the fight next weekend. Maybe if anyone wants to check me out on Instagram at AAJ MMA, and then if you want to read some sciencey nutrition stuff or see what I eat day to day, it's at Jeffery Nutrition. And
what's your Twitter handle?
Same thing, AAJ MMA for the MMA stuff, and at Jeffery NUTR for the science.
So if someone wants to connect with you, Aaron, what would be the first go-to website, social media platform that you're going to instantly respond to?
I'm pretty good with responding to people on all of the above. So if they message me on my MMA page, Twitter or Instagram, same with my nutrition. I also have a website for my nutrition consulting business. It's jeffreynutrition.com, and there's a contact form, and they can fill that out if they want.
Wonderful. Matthew, thank you for putting this together. Thank you, everyone, for joining Aaron and I here live on air with Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5. Please tune in to FightPass.com. We're looking at Jeffery and Petrosky, and I have a really, really good feeling this is one match not to miss. I know it would be stupid for me to miss it, so I'm definitely tuning in. And this is going to be taking place at Hartman Arena in Park City, Kansas. You been to Kansas before, Aaron?
I have not.
Neither have I, so I may have to find out what your experience is like. How long are you going to be there? Just a couple days?
Yeah, not long at all. 4 days, 3.5 days, something like that. But it's warm there. It's warmer than here, so I'm looking forward to that.
Well, what's your version of warmer?
I think they're like low 80s in Fahrenheit right now. So.
Oh wow, you're in the Northeast. We've been in the 60s and 70s because I thought with the way your winters are, you were going to say 50 is warm to me.
No, it's pretty warm there. I'm kind of pumped for that.
Well, thanks again. October 16th, 9 Eastern Time, 6 Pacific. FightPass.com. Got to see Aaron. He's incredible. Have a great day, everyone. Aaron, stay on the line. I'm going to answer those questions for you. And I hope everyone has a fantastic, awesome weekend, and safe rest of your new year, and the best 2021 that I know we're all going to be entering into. And once again, stay positive. Don't let the news media get to you. Don't let, those Debbie Doubters get to you. Think positive, be responsible, be the best role model for yourself so you can be that way for others, the same way Mr. Aaron Jeffery is. Have a great day, everyone.
Socials and let's connect.